in the room have your pens out and are busily scribbling. There's lots of ideas and thoughts that have come out of this conversation. So do take the time and put down some of your thoughts. We don't want blank sheets back again. The next program we have is Agastya. Karthik and I visited the Augusta campus early this year and we immediately fell in love. Science has the ability to spark curiosity in all of us. You know, and even today when I went to their offices as well, I was tinkering around with some of their science experiments to just trigger something in us. And Agastya has just taken that ability of science to spark curiosity and built a program around it. And that program will produce tomorrow's innovators from the ruralmost parts of our country. And the way they've done it is this hub-spoke model, where every hub can serve a wide geography of students across that entire rural geography. And again, that model is replicable in any rural part of our country. It's designed for scale. And so, let's see the video of Agastya's story. The chairman of Agastya has personally made his presence felt and has a message for us. And following that, Karthik, who is our chairman, will moderate the program and introduce the participants.
We had visited Agastya. I think it's about 178 acres actually, that campus, which was barren land before they converted it into this lush green acreage. And the labs you see there, you know, are mind-blowing. I mean, you know, I visited MIT labs, I visited Stanford labs. These labs are a notch above, honestly. I mean, it's mind-blowing what they've achieved. So let me now, you know, introduce the two panelists. Gayatri here runs the Public Charitable Trust of L&T, which is a very unique model where it's employee contributions matched by the firm. So it's very separate from their CSR funds. She actually entered the social sector very early in her life from the corporate sector and has partnered and done projects with the Bill and Melinda Foundation, CIFF, which is the largest children's foundation in the world, I think 7 billion. Right? So she's an old hand, and she obviously will, you know, give her experience working with Agastya as one of their funders. And then I have Thiagarajan, who is the Chief Operating Officer of Agastya. He has a very successful corporate career. Thiago has had a 30 years successful corporate career in India's IT and BPO sector, headed India Global for some time. And then about 10 years back, decided to enter the social sector. So he runs the operations of Agastya. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Gayatri and So, Thiago, can you just expound on what we just saw in the video?
Yeah.
Is the model to instill curiosity and then which leads to creativity?
So we take a reasonably structured approach to getting the last rural child from a passive receiver to an excited learner into an interested discoverer, problem solver, then on to tinkering, makers and that kind of movement, into creativity in making projects work for their communities, and ultimately into hopefully innovators. Not all of them turn out to be that, but a substantial number definitely move from passive receiver to active interest and curious and creative kind of people. So this we do through a 2 to 3 year process using mobile labs, science centers and various other products and services that we provide. And we have made a substantial difference in the rural community. The young instructor leaders that we have have a much higher college rate or entry college rate than the surroundings towns, double demand. So that's the kind of difference we made.
Right. So, Gayatri, now that you've been working with Agastya in the last 2.5-3 years, in your opinion, what do you think is their key strength as a program for rural?
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invite, and thank you for giving this opportunity to talk about the unique program. Before I get into the unique strength of the organization, I must talk about why Larsen and Toubro Public Charitable Trust have chosen to work with Agastya. If you look at, all of us are from development sector. We all agree that the vision and the mandate of the organization has to be aligned with the work the organization is doing. That is the number one. And where we saw that strength lies with Agastya. As you all know, Larsen and Toubro is the major technology organization, and it's a conglomerate of many construction, manufacturing. You talk of anything in technology area, Larsen and Toubro is there. And the science is in the DNA of the organizations. And the leadership in Larsen and Toubro, he felt that if we talk of science and technology, the rural mass is completely left out and neglected. It was in the year 2012, the organization had an internal discussion and we decided to choose science as our subject for social investment. And this Larsen Toubro Public Charitable Trust didn't just start the program like that. Mr. Naik, Chairman, who invested his own money, is known for his own philanthropy, who has placed 25% of his personal wealth. He said, first I will see the model and then I will ask my company to replicate. So there goes the strength, and they proved the test. So from one van, we have expanded to 50, and the program has spread its way. And as Tagu was saying, and Ramji has spoken about, it's a revolution. And Oleti believed in the scale and impact which Agastya has shown, the mettle that they can take the program to scale. And in our country today, no pilots can help, and you have already spoken in the beginning. And unless and until we reach out to the last mile, to the bottom of the pyramid, things will not change. I'll not take much time to talk about the education system in our country. All of us are aware, no model is perfect. But if we can touch, if we can reach to the poorest of the poor, there lies the victory. And for that I congratulate IIT purpose, and I was very impressed the way you said that, let's do the 10x, and that's the challenge today, and that's the strength of Agastya. And all other things they have spoken about, the methodology is strong, and there are issues of the measurement and impact, but they're seriously trying about it, and it's innovation. And as you look at the rural scale schools, there is a low horizon mindset in the rural settings. When I say low horizon mindset, there is no aspiration today. And where the Agastya van reaches the village and the aspiration is built. And if that aha moment we are able to capture, that's a huge strength of the organization to create that at the last mile.
Fantastic. So, just picking up where Gayatri left, Thiago, is given the soft nature of curiosity and creativity, how have you quantifiably started measuring impact?
Yeah, such things are not easy to measure in absolutes. But what one can do over a period of time that we have built models are for trends in curiosity, what interests, what is interactivity, what is curiosity, what is creativity, what is confidence. Has the child transformed from a passive learner to a interested, active participant? You do that through comparison between the baseline and middle and then later on. And IIM Bangalore helped us to build a framework through blind survey methodology, which makes sure that the questions cannot be gamed in answering. That he answered it yes, and therefore I answered it yes kind of a thing cannot be done. So it has to come from within for the child, and that's done 3 times a year, and we measure how have these parameters moved. And we keep it reasonably simple because we are talking about rural folks who deal in vernacular languages here, but it has worked very well, and this is the 3rd year of the program. But impact measurement and what you do is an evolving thing, and we are still perfecting the model more.
Fantastic. That's great. I believe PCC also is great that these organizations are bringing in third-party assessment models. I think PCC did work with ISB Hyderabad, right? And you're doing work with IIM Bangalore. So Gayatri, switching to you now. From a funding perspective, as you know, Ramji had mentioned, that you've got many funders along the way. What has been your experience in working in a collaborative way with other funders?
See, today the CSR spend is quite spread and disparate. And if they all can come together and do the targeted approach, which the other, particularly has happened in the health sector, that will be a long way to go, but I think that's the answer. Look for the poorest of the poor and invest there to change the scenario. So that, and for that you need the collaboration. And then we have also heard about sustainability quite a bit. But in my personal opinion, sustainability is a misnomer in a country like ours. Yes, we have to look for the convergence with the government, we have to work with, look for sustainability, but the problem is so huge, and with the corporate CSR mandate, if everybody can come together and support the good NGOs, that will be the answer to your 10x challenge.
L&T, for instance, has moved from not just L&T Public Charitable Trust supporting us, but the L&T CSR is also slowly.
See, what we have done is the prototype is being set by the Larsen Toubro Public Charitable Trust. We have worked with the partner and set the processes, and then we can slowly transfer it to the CSR. And the CSR mandates are quite tough, but we have to do it first, set the prototype, prove the model, and then go for the scale up. And CSR fund is really, really huge. Small foundations might not be able to do, but that's the way to go.
So just to take that forward, given that Agastya itself is now moving from its main campus to this hub and spoke, how do you see the methodologies and processes set in place to enable them to scale outside of their main campus?
See, it's an evolution which Agastya is also going through. So they have to perfect their processes, which they are trying. They're taking the professional support. And I must tell you one thing, I was very happy to see Ashok here. One thing, the CSR has to really, really take forward that investing in the human capital of the smaller NGO and the mid-sized NGOs. I was fortunate to sit here today and see Belinda Foundation, and there are some others. They promote investing in human capital of the organization partners they work. But when you look at Indian CSR, I will not comment, give a judgmental statement, but somehow people, when they prepare the project funding, they look at, oh my God, so much in admin cost. So we have to move away from that attitude and that mindset, and not that we have so much money like Bill Gates, but still with those constraints, Swadesh Foundation is doing quite a bit in investing human capital. There are many, Tata Trust is doing, but it has to be multiplied in the way the international NGOs, they do in India, and they have brought up the smaller NGOs and the partner to contribute in a much, much better way. So, and coming about the hub and spoke model, it's wonderful. And again, I have a conflict between whether we should invest in urban or whether we should go to rural. So that is a continuous debate, and if I talk about it, it will take a whole time. The need is always there, and if each state today think of a Kupam kind of a model in state headquarter, I think the problem will be solved to a great extent, and to create that aspiration within the government limitations and stipulation, however money they have, it will be difficult. And to move the needle, to do it in speed and scale, we should learn from international organizations and work with the government and do it. But hub and spoke model is definitely good. It requires a lot of investment, and the corporates should support each state headquarter to have or district headquarter for that purpose. And again, the corporates also have a rule of adjacency, work within your community parameters and other things. But again, I go back to the targeted approach, find out the remote areas and see where the problem lies and invest there. And then your spoke and hub model comes to picture, and you can really help millions of rural children who are deprived of these benefits.
So just to end, I was lucky enough as we started on this journey 8 months back. One of the first people you and I met was Raji. And he spoke for about 2 hours in his living room. Fascinating. What really struck both of us when we left is when he ended by saying that we need to convert from an NGO to an NGL, which is we need to create a movement. Because as I said in my opening remarks that helping 10,000, 100,000 in India has no impact. You've got to get to the
I think the humongous numbers definitely indicate that you've got to go beyond the organizational or institutional envelope and create programs that can go beyond needing an Agastya instructor or a donor, to support it in a particular place, such as Gayatri mentioned. Each teacher has to be converted into an Agastya equivalent methodology. Each young instructor leader that we have has to become a scout or guide or an NCC kind of person, which is actually a movement, right? Or like the makers movement in the United States. They turn on a dime in the United States, even though they have any educational system that doesn't work, they will forget about the past and quickly turn it around. So that is the kind of thing that we need to do, and that's what this movement is all about. And I think, we need to create that, and we have chosen Young Instructor Leader, Operation Vasanta and Teacher Training, all of which were featured in that video. And we believe that we can do it. We have invested in the people and the processes for us to do it.
Great, thank you. I think we've run out of time.
Yeah.
You want to say something? Sure.
There is a World Bank report which says missing teachers in India. Today, 25%, our ratio, student and teacher ratio is 1 to 35. But 25% of the teachers are missing. So which cost $2 million USD to the exchequer every year. So there, lies the challenge. How do we mobilize the private sector to fill in and work in convergence with the government? And everybody has to work together to make this Agastya movement